Hello, I'm Sate and welcome by Learning from a Hermit. And today we shall be learning from the one and only Mumbo Jumbo. Mumbo is known for his more modern build style with a lot of right walls, sharp corners, and before season 10, not too much color. Oh, and redstone, I guess. How could we forget redstone? I myself have been meaning to learn more about redstone, and I kind of want to get out of my comfort zone with this entire video. So that's why I decided to do Mumbo, and we will see what he has in store for us, and to see if everything that he does is actually really quite simple for even the biggest, absolute craziest redstone noob. So we'll see that hopefully in this video. There is, however, one thing that I think that we need to do before we can get into this video. And that is that I think all his entire knowledge about redstone is stored right inside his mustache. So if you give me 1 second. There we go. Yep, that's better. That's wonderful. I think we will get the knowledge about redstone now with this mustache on our face. And just like Mumbo, we are going to start our project with a drawing. Now, I don't have fancy digital drawing supplies like Mumbo does, but I do have a pencil, paper, and a vision. For today, I want to make a rundown factory. I feel like a factory is the perfect place to incorporate redstone machinery without it looking too out of place, and where I can make it work the best with my limited redstone knowledge without me having to cover it up in some fancy way. I can imagine this factory having been used as a large distribution center of more mundane goods. It still needs to be secure, but not that secure that it would be demolished once it stands empty for too long. I've noticed that Mumbo's builds almost always have that overgrown feeling to them, so this factory being abandoned was perfect too, along with the fact that I love myself some good overgrown leaves. The same goes that even though this factory is abandoned, I do still want to use some pops of color, as those have become a Mumbo staple too, especially in the last few seasons of Hermitcraft. This building should hopefully become a perfect combination of Mumbo Jumbo and Sate Noodle, where both our styles can mix and create a space where I can experiment and learn many new things. So that's why today we will be making a worn down factory while trying to use the different build styles that Mumbo has used over the past few seasons of Hermitcraft and in general really, along with of course some fun redstone compartments to make it a full Mumbo look, combining it with a little bit of Sate, and hopefully learning a lot of new techniques and new things from it. But before we can start building, we should get at least some sort of understanding of what all the redstone components are and what they can do. Now, I can't pull Mumbo out of thin air, but I can kidnap the Lemon Arsonist and let him be my teacher and show all the stuff that I need to know about redstone, which honestly is kind of the same thing.
Let's see what you already know.
What I already know is normal piston does not take wood back, and then when survival, dangerous, fun. But I'm also aware that if you shoot a target block, it can light up, and it can de-light up. And then the most annoying contraption.
It is horrible.
Yeah.
The worst possible redstone clock, but it is a redstone clock.
Can't believe I made a redstone clock on like first try. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
right.
my redstone knowledge is limited, and I feel like if I want to make a cool Mumbo build, my redstone knowledge need to be a little bit bigger than making absolutely horrible redstone clocks.
I can show you some basics. As you can see, there is some stuff laid out, so I can show you.
Wow, how great! That's crazy. That's wonderful.
Yeah, what a surprise. The main thing with redstone
yes
is that as you get better at redstone, you pick up just little quirks with redstone that you can use in bigger and better builds, and so often you'll see this huge redstone contraption and it looks incomprehensible, but it's always made up of individual small components that are doing something relatively simple, like turning a signal on and off, or detecting when something changes and then turning that into the different signal. It's all just how you process signals, and like the individual interactions between blocks. Without individually, they're actually quite simple, but as a whole, it looks like a mess.
So basically, what you're going to teach me today is that redstone is really quite simple, and Mumbo hasn't been lying to us.
Exactly. So we can start off with some of the basic components.
Yes.
Obviously, the most basic component in redstone is...
Oh, is that the question? Redstone dust.
Yeah. There you go.
Whoa!
So, redstone dust has power levels that drop off every block. The redstone dust here will decrease in power until it gets to 0. And once it's at 0, it can't power anything anymore. But even if it has just the tiniest amount of power, like here, it can still power blocks. If you want a really long redstone signal, the best way to do it is to... Well, not the best way. One of the easiest way to do it is just a huge line of redstone, and then after you get to this point here, you add a repeater, which just repeats the signal.
I see.
So the repeater's main function is to repeat the signal. So it takes a near 0 but not 0 redstone source and puts it right up to maximum at 15.
Oh, it puts it back to maximum. Okay.
Yeah, so it takes it from any redstone power can go into here and it will spit out 15. The next thing for redstone power that's useful to know is about comparators.
Yes.
Comparators, they also have one repeater tick of delay, but instead of taking in their basic form without anything attached to it, they read the power of whatever's behind it and just output that exact same power. So you can...
For storage systems and such.
Yeah, exactly. So so like here, you have a barrel that's filled with a certain number of items, and it'll translate to a certain power level.
Uh-huh. And then if you take items out, the power level will go down again?
Yep, the power level is completely dependent on that. So here, this comparator is saying, is the signal strength behind me greater than or equal to the signal strength to the side of me? And because this chest is full, so it's full power, this is bigger than this, so it doesn't put anything out. If this is smaller than this, how many do I need to do? There we go. If the power level to the side is smaller than the power level behind, then it outputs whatever the power behind is.
Okay, that's interesting. So I'm guessing I said it earlier a little bit too, like this is mainly used in those automatic sorting systems and such, right? Like, oh, how much can go in where and such.
Yeah, this is often used for that type of stuff, and this is how most sorters work, because you have a hopper at the top with some amount of storage in it. It's reading the power level, so you read the contents of a chest, which has some item that you want filtering, and if the number of the items in that goes above a certain threshold, the power goes from being 2 blocks to being 3 blocks. And when that happens, you invert this torch, where currently this torch is being used to power these hoppers. Now, an important thing to note, which I should have said earlier actually, when you power a hopper, it locks it. So if you put stuff into a chest with a hopper underneath it, it won't do anything if the hopper is being locked, but once you unlock the hopper, then it starts to channel items through flowing. Yeah, and then you can lock it again to stop items from flowing. By keeping these hoppers locked, you stop items from flowing through until this hopper gets enough items in it to get them unlocked, and then items can flow through again. Okay, next is observers.
Yes.
So observers essentially are used to detect any changes in a block. So if a block changes by the redstone changes in power, or it moves through by a piston or anything, then an observer can detect it and turn it into a pulse. Okay, next concept that's useful to know is soft, like soft? No, not soft power. Strong and weak power.
Yes.
A strongly powered block can make a redstone around it into being a certain redstone power, but a weakly powered block can't. So this redstone block is currently being strongly powered because components like this, like
Yeah.
basically components that aren't redstone dust itself,
Yeah.
strongly power blocks when they go directly into it. But redstone dust weakly powers a block. So this
Yeah.
you can't get this redstone power out of this block unless you use another redstone device like a repeater. Observers also strongly power blocks, so you can get a pulse go through a block like this
Oh, yeah.
because this block is being strongly powered.
Oh, that is so weird. Like, you would imagine it having to be like directly connected to it, but this would mean that you could have like just an entire wall, and then you have observers, and it's like, oh, behind it everything's going on, but it looks very cool and glassy with just a fancy wall and some observers.
Yeah, well, this is why like in like the buildstone stuff, people are using trapdoors. You don't need to have like redstone immediately behind the trapdoors. You can have just like a nice black wall. Now that we've talked about the basics of the redstone signals, so well, last time I got you to build them yourself, but
last time? Well, what do you mean last time? This is very much the first time we're doing this. What do you mean?
Well, should we get rid of this and you can build them yourself, or shall I just show you?
No, you can just show me. It's fine.
Yeah. So one of the most basic redstone clocks is an observer clock. So you just have two observers facing into each other, and because observers detect changes, they detect when the other observer changes, which makes them change, which is then detected, which then is detected again, and so on and so on. And you just create an alternating signal. And then you can use a repeater to turn that signal into a different length signal. Another thing I forgot to cover earlier, which is actually very important, is quasi-connectivity.
Magic blocks.
Because it comes up a lot. Yeah, magic blocks. So in there's a weird quirk in regular redstone. In Java redstone, which is quasi-connectivity, which is that pistons can be powered by blocks which should power the block above them.
Oh,
if that makes sense. So any block that could potentially power this block here can power this piston, but because it's not touching the block, it doesn't actually power the piston. So I can power this block right up here at the top.
Yeah.
But this piston doesn't move until I update it. And then I can unpower this.
But
and it still doesn't update until
removing the block then.
Yeah. So you have to update the piston in order to power it from this block or this one here. Right. I think that's the basics. I did have one other question one other thing I wanted to see if you could do.
Oh god.
Which is, do you think you can make some logic gates? So you can have a 0 0,
Yes.
a 1 0, a 0 1, or a 1 1. And you want you want the power to be on for every single one except for 0 0.
Yes.
For this one, you have the same inputs. You have 0 0, 1 0, 0, 1, and 1, 1.
Yeah.
But now you want it to only have power for 1, 1.
Yes.
Which, if you think about it, is very similar to wanting no power for 0, 0.
Does it have to do with that in these individual lines you'd already need like a redstone torch chaos?
Oops, sorry.
That's
I didn't
fine.
mean to do that.
I was gonna remove it anyway.
Oh.
Like you'd need, I don't know, like running into a block and then doing stuff like this, and then it goes.
Yeah, you're almost there. You're actually really, really close. Look, okay, so look now. Now you've inverted both of these signals.
Yes.
So now you've got 0, 0 gives 1. 1, 0 gives 1. 0, 1 gives 1. And it's only with 1, 1 that you get a 0 out. So you've almost got the exact right combination. You've got to do one more thing to get. Now you've got 0, 0, 0, 1, whereas what you want is 1, 1. Wait, you've got 1, 1, 1, 0, where you want 0, 0, 0, 1. So how do you just change one into the other?
Would that be by just adding one more there?
Yay! You did it.
Yay!
This is an AND gate. So this signal at the end doesn't turn on unless both of these are on.
Oh, wait, I see it now. Okay. So this is actually, theoretically, it is really quite simple.
Yeah. It's hard to conceptualize, but once you conceptualize it, it's like, okay, this just turns. If both of these are on, this is on. If only one of them is on, this isn't on, and that's the whole deal. That's all it has to do. It was very nice to see that, because when you were trying to figure out how to do the NOT gate, you had to go through a few iterations. But then once you were making your own AND gate, you were like, oh, so I'll just add a NOT gate at the end. And you just put it in.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially with those words, yeah.
That is what you were thinking, but not those words, obviously.
Yeah. It's very, it's interesting to see, like, the kind of progress, I guess, with understanding of what those things do.
Yeah.
You're a good teacher, Lemon. You're a good teacher.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it.
Thank you very much.
That's basically what my entire YouTube channel has been, so I'm glad to. I am glad to hear that.
You know, always nice if like it actually works out and such. You know, yeah. No, it worked. Thank you very much, and I'll start incorporating all of it.
Hell yeah! I'm looking forward to seeing you build.
Thank you. Now that we know, basically, well, the basics of Redstone, I feel confident enough to start building our redstone redstone rundown factory. Thank you, Lemon, for helping me out there, by the way. Really appreciate it. So it's not really in the right gradient order, but now you do get a little bit of an idea what kind of blocks I want to use. I want to use like diorite and andesite mainly, along with maybe some stone and like, what's it called? Mossy cobblestone, to show that it's run down. I'm going to have to look at my blocks a little bit closer first before I actually start building, but that's the general idea. And Mumbo also has been using a lot of vibrant blocks in his builds, both in Season 7, I believe it was, with the big heart that he made, and also now in Season 10, but it's run down. So I don't want all like the extreme vibrancies. So I think using some terracotta colors could be really nice. And as it's still a Sate build, I want to go with pink. I think going with like some pinks might be fun. And pink is close enough to red, which is the color of Mumbo's channel, of course, even though his favorite color is apparently cerulean blue. So maybe we'll have a nod to the cerulean blue too. But at least one pink, because we're not making a Mumbo build, we're learning from him. Keyword, learning, not recreating. Okay? So that's the main vibe that I want to go with. And of course, add a lot of redstone components on this wonderful, wonderful hill. But for now, I think that we have been talking and preparing for long enough. So let's get into this build mode and see if we can make this entire building work. And with that, our build, inspired by the one and only Mumbo Jumbo, is done. And honestly, I kind of liked it. I went through a lot of brainstorming to get the right blocks that I needed. As you can see, we didn't really use the blocks from the color palette anymore. I didn't really like those, and I was incredibly lost, so I looked at Mumbo's videos to see what he used, and in his latest base he has used like kind of this gradient in the factory. So I thought this worked. I thought it worked, and honestly, I like it. I like it. It stands out against a very bright sky. Me gusta. I like it. There are a couple of redstone components about this base. The first one is the fan. That's incredibly loud when you come too close, so we're going to move quickly away again, with a broken fan down. Like the fan pieces are still there, because I mean it's an abandoned factory. It would be weird if all fans were working. I don't know who's paying the electricity bill for this fan and the lights there, but you know it's fine, I guess, you know, Minecraft logic. But I also made a dead tree, and of course covered the ground in a lot of leaves and shrubbery. And honestly, my redstone masterpiece must be this door. You use this, and there it goes. I managed it. Oh, oops. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to work on the inside, but you know, that's fine. This should be admired from the outside, and the redstone things, not the inside, it's fine. But this is the entire workarounds of this 3x4 piston door. And of course, all the links to also the fan and this door that I used will be in the description if you want to check them out yourself. This door was definitely an interesting thing. It was only a 30-second video, and you couldn't really see everything, so I had to guess a lot, and then it continued to break itself, and I wasn't sure what to do. And then Lemon saw, hey, this observer is facing the wrong way. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. And then there were 2 blocks that kept stuck in the middle, and I didn't know what it was, so I had to go through all these observers again to see which one was facing right, or which one I thought wasn't facing right. And it turned out to be this one, and one there on the bottom. But now it works, and if you press this note block, I said if if you press this lever again, it closes once more. And this door uses a lot of the magic blocks that Lemon taught us, like the node blocks to transfer and power these pistons both, and do it more like that, which I think is very interesting, and I definitely wouldn't have understood how this entire thing worked, or which observers were facing the wrong way without Lemon's little masterclass. So thank you very much, Lemon. Please go follow him, please go check him out, check out his videos. They're really cool, and if you enjoy Redstone, why aren't you following him already? And then for the last bits, we have to go to the back, where there is a overgrown, maybe familiar looking, little camper van that has been parked here and just stayed here now. I guess it's been overgrown, along with these pipes carrying water to cool down, imaginary machinery inside, and some, what are these called? Shipping containers. That have also just been overgrown and left to rust, and some other redstone materials that they left behind, and the most atrocious flickering lights that I made. The inside, thank you, absolutely horrible. I used the cursed redstone clocks with repeaters to slow down the signaling. It's amazing. Not everything works, but it's fine. They kind of break sometimes. But you know, who doesn't like some breaking redstone every once in a while? Honestly, I think I learned quite a bit from Mumbo here, though I guess you could consider I learned more from Lemon, but Lemon is basically the closest thing to Mumbo that I actually know. So, it's fine, really. We learned from Lemon and Mumbo, there you go. But I do really like incorporating redstone in builds now. I think it was pretty fun, and the euphoric feeling you get once you figure out something redstone, it's so good. It is so good, especially if normally you don't really get it, and now you spontaneously kind of get it. That's so euphoric. I can recommend it to literally everyone. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, please, and possibly join my Discord. That's a very fun place. Trust. And of course, I'll say it once again, check out the Lemon Arsonist and all the videos that I tagged in the description thingy of what I use, because that's very cool. They're very cool too, if you want to learn all this. Then all there is left to say is once again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye bye!